It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Light Forex Social Trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Good morning, 11th of July 2019, 8 AM CET, Piotr here, and this is the pre-London open live market coverage on Light Forex Global YouTube channel. Hopefully you are doing well. We have midweek reversal on dollar. We're going to discuss this after the risk warning as usual. So guys, please bear in mind, trading effects on margin, trading crypto on margin carries a high level of risk. May not be suitable for investors who can sustain a loss of some or all initial investments, so please do not invest that money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Okay, USA, let's start. Time is flying. Just a friendly reminder, we are going to cover New York Open live today, so you are more than welcome to join me at 2 PM CET, 1 PM London, or 8 AM Eastern. Let's check. We are awaiting the final German CPI. Let's have a look what we have. Oh, German CPI month to month 0.3, estimation 0.3, previous 0.3. German CPI year to year 1.6, estimation 1.6, previous 1.6. CPI EU harmonized 0.3, estimation 0.1, previous 0.1. Year EU harmonized 1.5, estimation 1.3, previous 1.3. We are awaiting French final CPI as well within the next 45 minutes. Then during the London session we are going to have financial stability report based or from Bank of England, as well as Bank of England Governor Carney speaks, and it's 12 AM CET, 11 AM London, 5 AM Eastern. During the New York session, Powell one more time, and then 30-year bond auction. So we are going to get the results later today. Okay, that's how it looks. Let's talk about the charts. Let's start with euro dollar. As I mentioned, nice reversal over the course of the week. So midweek reversal. We took out yesterday at once actually. We get back above Monday low. We get back above weekly open, as well as we broke through and closed above Monday high. Nice reversal. Attempt during the Tokyo session market. There was an attempt to continue. So I wonder what's going to happen over the course of a London session, because during the Tokyo session we hit supply base on the 4th of July, bank holiday in US, price action over here, right? So that was the latest rising candle over here. Of course we didn't hurt based on the daily chart. We didn't hurt bulls. The big green zone been discussed many times over the move here to the downside. All right, so congratulations to longs. Now it's all about the range from the 4th of July, and the high is 1295. So we can assume in this case we can assume 113 psychological level, and that might be short-term key level from the bulls perspective. To the downside, I think that we can try to do it that way. To the downside, yesterday high, yesterday close, today's open as the first possible demand levels, then levels related to the Monday high, then weekly open and Tuesday high. Plenty of levels to discuss. So let's place this one is around Tuesday high is around weekly open, so it's fine. So let's discuss euro dollar based on from the intraday perspective. There you go. So when we are talking about the possible demand based on yesterday high, we know it's here, right? And it's also related to supply post non-farm payrolls, right? So there was a yesterday test, pullback, first few hours of Tokyo session, retest, hesitation, breakout, right? So right now, based on what we have here, that's our intraday possible demand zone. Okay, that's how I see euro dollar here. So we may see continuation from here. In case we are going to see lower levels, there is another green line, so it's a yesterday close. But in that case, I think that we might see, in case of the break, this non-farm payroll supply, we might see retest of Monday high, and we had such a situation yesterday, and let me explain. That was here, right? The big candle to the upside broke through Monday high, then pullback, retest, continuation. So that's how I see the things here on thanks Jolt for comments. That's how I see the things here from the bullish perspective on euro dollar. And the latest one is pre-Powell yesterday, and we have it here down towards 12.10. Okay. So we have three possible demand levels. The closer is 1260, 1255. The next one is down towards 1235, 1230. We are talking about the Monday high, and then related to the weekly open around 1220, 1210. That's how I see the things from the bulls perspective. Now let's have a look and check the bears perspective. We are above pre-NFP levels, so, and we are because of the Powell, right? So we, as a bears, we gave up very important level, right? We discussed that 113 based on the range from the 4th of July might be the key psychological level, all right? But I'm not gonna be surprised if we are going to see retest much higher towards 1320, 1330 on euro dollar, where we have intraday supply, and 1350 when there is a supply based on the daily chart. So as a bear, I would be very cautious. We have some kind of the liquidity pool probably here, something here. So that's yeah, the bears have to be patient and have to wait for their opportunity. So it's, in my opinion, is a little bit higher than 113. The only real chance is quick move back and close below this pre-non-farm payrolls levels and try to fight again around 1260, right? So it might be something, it could be, but I can't see it right now, to be honest with you. Something like this, and then maybe then trying to move higher. I've been thinking of the previous move to the upside, right? And I've been trying to check the, I made it a little bit upside down than what usual we should do. Anyway, that's still possible, and 1240, that's also the weakness we've seen here. So trying to summarize euro dollar, bulls from intraday perspective, possible demand 1260, then lower towards 1240 and lower towards weekly open, and a little bit below in between 1220, 1210. From the supply perspective, we are testing the range from the 4th of July, the latest raising candle. Then we have some liquidity pool above, and I'm not gonna be surprised if we are going to try to trade as high as 1350 because of this possible over under here. So that's how I see the things on the euro dollar, and from the bear's perspective, yeah, patience is needed. Let's switch to cable. Very interesting thing here. A little bit weaker than euro. We are still below Monday high. We are around weekly open right now, blue dotted line. We are fighting, the truth is that we are fighting with latest swing low, which been broken after the payrolls. I'm talking about this swing low. All right, so we are testing. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It was during the, so that was the candle before the low, and that's the candle after the low, and I'm taking their lows. So we are testing this supply right now from the daily perspective, and there is not much space, because a little bit higher we have another possible supply based on the another broken swing, right? But this time it might be a little bit easier, because after the initial attempt to break lower, it was immediately retested, right? So I think the current 2550 as a psychological level here, 2540, 2550, in case of daily close above, right, and weekly close above, that might be nice reversal here on cable. So let's have a look what we have from intraday perspective. Just bear in mind that we are going to get this Bank of England financial stability report, as well as we have Carney. So it might be busy session for British pound, especially if we are going to get something Brexit related as well, right? that might be funny. Anyway, so let's check where we are, what we have here. In that case, from the intraday perspective, moving back to Tuesday. So here on hourly chart, that's where we've seen the latest weakness, right? Then yesterday we took out this level, then we retest this level, so we are fine here. I'm not gonna to talk about this right now. We are done here, right? So a little bit higher is very interesting. A little bit higher is very interesting and been tested, and I've been stopped out yesterday, if you remember, during the first attempt. It was better later on. So I think the levels right below weekly open towards Monday low, right? That's nice. Look, when we broke yesterday, okay, we were trying to go lower. That's why the first afternoon trade I've been stopped out. Then I recovered and ended with profit, if you remember. So the shadows right below Monday low. Then towards the end of the session, we were reacting exactly at the Monday low. Then the hour where we are changing the date, right? So when the spreads are wider, and we had a little bit lower levels again, and then Asia brought higher levels. So right now, what is going on? We are testing supply based on the daily chart, as well as we are testing supply here based on the intraday chart, right? In case of move higher, we have another supply, right? And that's one is related to non-farm payrolls, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. So that's non-farm payrolls levels. So that's why I mentioned that pound is still a little bit weaker than euro, because euro bulls were able to take out pre-non-farm payrolls levels. Unfortunately, here still we have to fight. So the thing is, what Carney wants to say, what Carney will tell us, and how the market, what's gonna be the market behavior, what's gonna be the market takeaway after the Carney. There is a little bit of life when everyone thought that pound is dead already. The life is back. The bulls at least trying. That's the good sign. The bulls at least trying to fight. Both sides, in my opinion, got the chance. Now, because where we are, right? Because where we are, I would be very careful from bear's perspective trying to chase the market. I think we might see a little bit higher levels, taking into the consideration the latest move to the downside. All right, I think we might see a little bit higher levels, and we might retest the next supply we discussed based on the daily charts higher towards 26. Right, that's how I see the thing. So from the bear's perspective, I'm going to watch price action around 26. If I'm gonna get any kind of the confirmation from my perspective, I might join the party to the downside, right? To the upside, yeah, I wanna see the reaction. around current level and eventually around the Monday low. So I'm going to observe right now in between 25 and 25. In case of lower levels, then 24.80, 24.70 might be the better proposition for bulls, right? The bigger pullback we are going to get, the better, I think. All right. That's my way of thinking. Trying to take into the consideration the whole move to the downside. We were trying to check the biggest rally as a correction rally was here, and yesterday move is already bigger, right? So that's the good one. In that case, let's have a look. Previous rally, that's the biggest correction in that rally. We still might see retest of 24.60, some kind of the double bottom from the higher time frame, right? But I think for now this attempt to build over under, so if 25 is not gonna work, I think 24.80, 24.70 might work well. From the bearish perspective, from the sell side, higher towards 26. All right, that's how I see the cable. Now dollar yen, and here we were waiting, we were discussing, boom, looks like 109, that was all. We were talking about these levels as a possible supply based on this price action and the swing low we've seen late January, right? Beginning of February. Then we were testing this level once, and then boom, we broke through. So that was also the probably half of that range from the 31st of May, right? So 50%, and we're trying to continue to the downside. Now it's gonna be very important where we are going to close the day today and where we are going to close the week. Why is gonna be so important from my perspective? Because 107.50 might be the key here, and we are talking about these levels. We are talking about last week low. From here we recovered higher, and we took out some levels here. Now if you like the dynamic trend lines, there is a broken trend line, but as long as, because it's a daily chart, so as long as we are trading, the most important thing is where we are going to be at the end of the day, right? In case of the strong recovery, in case of the lower shadow, in case of moving back above Monday low, above weekly open, I'm pretty sure we are going to see new high. So in case we are going to build lower shadow here and moving back above the trend line at the end of the day, the new high is gonna be possible, and then we may try to retest levels higher towards 109.50, 109.75 in dollar yen. Now that's the only cross for now where eventually I see the possibility of nice recovery after this strong move to the downside, because we had such a move a few times already. Very quick downside move, and then slowly recovery, slow recovery. Anyway, that's what I've been talking about. If we are going to check this particular move here, if we are going to talk about this particular move, right, because that was the latest weakness, and post that we saw new high here, right, from this intraday perspective. Now why is so important here this latest weakness, right? Because once we took out with the tiny retest over here, it was never been tested after that, right? Whoa, where we are right now. Trying to take the advantage of that level right now, but I'm a little bit afraid because of what happened during the Tokyo session, right? Niagara Falls, so be careful here. Taking into the consideration the intraday chart right now, because we might see bounce based on this level, right? As of now, from intraday perspective, any attempt to move higher, especially to move higher towards Monday low, weekly open, is gonna be treated for now, for me, as a retest of the broken trend line, right? Then if we are going to be at the end of the day higher, I'm gonna put my head off and say, yeah, I was wrong, right? As of now, I'm going to try to sell rallies towards Monday low, weekly open. That's how I see the things. That's how I see the things here on the dollar yen. From the bullish perspective, I like this latest weakness here, but I think that what happened during the Tokyo may bring us another move lower. Market may want to look for more stops. In that case, I would rather, in case of attempt to go long, if you are a bull here, then I think the levels I've mentioned before, closer to 10750, might be much more interested than what we have right now. Okay? Because then we are going to take into the consideration that weakness over here to the left. Okay, so that's how it looks from the dollar yen perspective. Nasdaq, higher we go, stronger we fall. Finally we hit the stops at least. That's what we discussed for quite a few days. Let me remove the arrows, all of them. Anyway, that's where we are. Don't like these lines on MT4. Anyway, that's where we are right now, and I'm looking for any signs of reversal. Yes. Still, I'm looking for some sign of the reversal, so I'm going to watch patiently, right? I want to see during the cash session, so this afternoon when we are going to have our meeting, morning coffee, it's a good one. When we are going to have our afternoon meeting, I want to see new high rejected during the first part of the US session, right? I want to see second part of the US session to be weak. Otherwise, we are going through the roof, 8,500 or whatever you want, right? So looks like it's a latest chance for bears, for sellers. Yeah, we will see. The buyers, because it's a nice reversal, the buyers are around weekly open, and in that case we are discussing levels closer to 7,825 based on my chart. And yesterday we were discussing, as long as we are above 7,800, bulls are good. Okay, so that's how it looks right now. There is a lot of space from the bulls perspective, so yeah, 7,825, 7,800 based on my chart as a key support right now. If bears are going to be able to close the week below, fine, I'm gonna be very satisfied. From the intraday perspective, of course, pump. Yeah, To be honest with you, I think Powell anyway scared the market yesterday a bit, and I do think right now I might be totally wrong. I think that that was simple the pump because of the chart, for example, right? To finish what was visible on the chart. So market is trying to invite more buyers, telling them that it's gonna work as it worked for the last few years, that cut, more accommodation, more money, more cheap money, boom, let's pump it. I think anyway Powell scared the market a bit yesterday, and if I'm right, if my reading between the lines is correct, we should see within the next few days, we should see the reaction. Again, I'm not saying about any catastrophic move to the downside. I'm not saying about, you know, Niagara fall, but yeah, I think that we'll see a little bit lower levels on the indices. Now, oil. I've been wrong here. I've been looking for opportunity to go short. I've been thinking that 58, 50, 59, 50 gonna be or might be, from the intraday perspective, good selling levels. I've been wrong. We are above 60 and we are testing another supply base on the daily chart, as you can see, green color. So let's have a look what we have. We are testing this levels where market was trying to find the bottom after when we hit 66 something pullback. That's where we were trying to find the bottom before the breakdown, right? Then we had the breakdown over here. So we are trying to test these levels. Right now. The thing is, and I've been talking about this yesterday, that it might be a little bit different than what I've been talking about from the bearish perspective, right? Because we had this trend line. Sorry. Because we had this trend line and the third touch already been in place. There was a little bit of the pullback and rally. I've been talking about that yesterday. So that's how it looks. So right now, when we are talking about the oil, we are testing possible demand, but the possible demand is not that far away from here. The first one somewhere closer to 59.50, so a little bit below 60 psychological level. And I'm talking about the high from the 2nd of July, right? This move to the downside. So yesterday we took out the top of that range. So taking into the consideration size of that range, right? After the break, we might try to hit another supply higher. We might try to fight with these levels we see to the left and the bottom of the range from the 16th of May. Okay, that's how it looks. And finally, 1420 gold, still within the range, but again we changed the direction, trying to change the direction. We are talking about the midpoint inside the range, right? So when we were above, we are discussing possibility of continuation to the upside, below, continuation to the downside. So each time we were correct, but it didn't, the continuation didn't brought the breakout or breakdown, right? So here we found the midpoint. There was one bounce, second, then boom. So when we were below midpoint, rally into the midpoint, sell off, all right? Rally to the midpoint, pullback, breakout. So now the midpoint should work in favor of buyers, right? We are going to discuss gold more during our afternoon meeting this morning. That's it from me. It was my pleasure as usual to be here with you. Guys, be careful during the London session. Friendly reminder, pound is gonna be, the focus is gonna be on pound because of the Carney and financial stability report from Bank of England. Have a great London session and see you during the New York session. Goodbye. Take care.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, light Forex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.